Hey there, this is Nicole. Fat Preacher Man did a video for me for my Optimus Q, or maybe known as the LGL 55C phone. When I first got it, I was so excited. This was my first Android phone. Great features. I liked the flip, the keyboard out here. I don't know if you ladies are like me, where you like the keyboard flip, and it's just easier for me to text and do stuff that way. This is a business phone for me. I have a ministry, so I'm always on the phone, and I need a phone that's going to get good reception. It's not going to shut off for me, and it has a long battery life. Another thing about this, it takes great pictures. Very good as far as music. It's very loud, very crisp, very clear. The storage is very good. But that's about it. Let me tell you the problems I've had with this phone. I've had this phone for less than a year. It might be, I don't know, maybe about 8 months now, if that. Here are some of the issues. Well, the first thing I noticed, this was even after a few weeks, but I kind of, let go of it because I figured this is my first Android. I wasn't really familiar with it. So word to the wise, do your research when you get a phone, especially when you're going to drop a couple $100s or more. Fat Preacher Man has a phone that's similar, but his is more expensive, and it's bigger. It's a better phone. This is kind of like the baby of it. Anyway, with this particular phone, what I notice is it overheats. It doesn't just get a little warm, it overheats. It gets hot, which kind of bothered me. Also, what ended up happening was it shuts off. Not because the battery is low or it's getting low, it'll just shut off. For example, the other day I was on the phone maybe for about 40 minutes. I was talking with someone, encouraging them, and it shut off 3 times. I had to wait for it to come back up. Sometimes when it shuts off, it doesn't come back up. I have to go through going and taking the back off. After I take the back off, I have to take the battery out, wait a few moments, blow into it, put the back on. Sometimes it'll come up, sometimes it will not. Sometimes I just get lucky that way. I don't know what treat it's going to throw for me that day. There is times, for example, with the battery. It says that the battery, I believe, is anywhere from 5 to 7 hours. It hasn't been. Progressively, it's gotten worse. For the other day, for example, yesterday, I let my phone charged up to about 3/4 of the way. Well, I went out yesterday with my kids, maybe for a couple of hours. I had not used the phone at all, not even to check a text message. And I heard a beep, beep, beep. I thought, somebody trying to call me, that's odd. That's not the phone sound that it makes when somebody calls, but when I looked, the phone was dead. So the battery life doesn't last long. I've had times where I've had the battery, I've had it charged up the whole day, taken it off, and the battery has died quickly. Again, I like the flip keyboard. It's good for game playing and all, but if you need a business phone, this is not the one for you. Sometimes when it decides if it's going to click itself back on after being clicked off, sometimes what happens, it will get stuck. So you have to take the back off, or you have to wait for it to unstick itself. So it was very, very upsetting. Again, I was excited when I first got this phone, but word to the wise, do your homework. Another issue. I don't have a problem with Net10. It's a great company. I like their plans. I like their contract. We have a family plan, so it's a little bit cheaper. It's a little over $40-something a month now for unlimited everything. However, beware. Unless you get this phone and you have issues with it within 30 days, when you call them to get a replacement phone, this is what they're going to tell you. Now keep in mind, this phone is still under warranty. I've had it for less than a year. I've had it for about 4 months. Again, 4 months. But this is what they tell me. Even though I paid almost $200 for this phone. And again, don't have an issue with Net10. Great company, great plan. But they tell you this. This is your option. You can either trade in this phone for another phone just like it, which kind of upset me because they told me they were having issues with this particular type of phone. So I said, well, why would I want to trade it in and get the same kind of phone so I can have the same kind of issues? It wasn't like it was just this phone. It's this brand of phone. So I said, I tell you what, let me cut my losses. I'll get another Android phone, but I'll get a downgrade, one that's $30, $40, even $50 cheaper. I'll be willing to take that. They told me no, I couldn't do that. They told me what I could do is either trade this phone in for another phone just like it, or trade it in for a non-Android phone. Again, trade it in for another phone just like this, one that's causing issues, or trade it in for a non-Android phone, which kind of was upsetting because we're talking about like $100 difference or a little bit less. So I'm just letting you know that. The other issue is if I wanted to trade in this phone and I wanted to get another phone just like it, they send you an envelope. You have to trade in this phone. You take out your memory. You take out whatever little doodads you had, the screen protector or covering, silicone cover, whatever. You turn in the battery in the phone, but you have to wait for them to give you a new phone, which means that you will be without a phone, which I cannot afford to be without because of businesses and things that I have to do within the ministry, which upset me. But if I wanted to trade this phone in and get a downgrade non-Android phone, sure, they would send it out to me and I could just keep this phone, which really was upsetting for me. Again, like the company, but this phone, if you're looking for something just to do games on, if you're looking for a phone that you're really barely going to use and you're willing to drop $200, sure. But if, unless you wanted to drop your calls, shut off at any other time, constantly keep taking the back off, and have it overheat, then don't get this phone. Again, I like the features of it, but it's really not worth the headache. Just want to let you know about it. Got a new phone. Fat Preacher Man is going to be doing a video on it. You'll see it soon. If I have any other issues with that phone, I have it. I've only had it for a few days. I believe it's the Optimus Logic. It's a new phone. It's lighter. It's better. You'll see it on the video when he does it. If I have any issues, I will let you know. But I did want to let you know about this as a consumer because it's a lot of money to spend on a phone, especially if you're getting it for someone as a gift or you're getting it for yourself and you want a good Android business phone that doesn't cost a lot but costs enough. This is not the phone to get. Again, this particular one that's been giving me trouble is called the Optimus Q, or I believe it's called the LGL 55C. Just want to let you know that. Jesus bless you and good gaming. I'll talk to you soon.
Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Subscribe!